Hey, 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 beautiful women. Welcome to our first live session today, our masterclass. I see all of you have replied coming from, I can hear you, Leonie, both clear here and see you clearly. Awesome. Yay. Thank you so much, girls, for giving me that feedback. Oh, wow. I am so excited. I'm so excited to see all of you. Just seeing where you are all tuning in from today. All of your messages: Berlin, New Mexico, Potsdam, Germany, Austria, Stockholm, Sweden. Here, more Germany, Rotterdam, Canada, more Canada, Quebec City, more Berlin, Amsterdam, Belgium, another Belgium. So cool. Yay, Örebro, Sweden. Yay, Vancouver, Ibiza. I saw another Ibiza. Great, girls. So excited, and a warm welcome to all of you being here today. So just a little heads up before we begin. Ronya is tuning in from Mexico right now, and we had a little bit of technicalities. It seemed like there might be something with our program that we're working with right now that's not working quite correctly. So we're going to see if we can still get her on the call today. And otherwise, it's going to be just you and me. But we'll see. She might be able to get back on a little bit later. So with that being said, gorgeous girls, I'm just going to wait for one more little bit to see if you have all trickled in. I see 30 women live here right now. Anja, Nicole, Daniela, Eve, Angelica, Laura, Stephanie, Mia, Susanna, Michelle, Isabella, Annika, Natalie, Vanya, Diana, Barbara, Eva, Angelica, Siv, Dominique, Joyce, Yuka, Karen, Susan, Catherine, Siti, Femke, Leonie. Oh, that's another Leonie. Hello. And Anna Marta. So excited to have you here. So as we begin, I propose we do a little bit something shortly to just ground us, bring us back into our body. And what I'm going to share with you is something that I learned yesterday. I'm right now in Barcelona. I'm here for a month, participating in an amazing event from Mind Valley, which is a very big online organization that does great things online, sharing lots of amazing tools for happy living with the world. And I met yesterday a man, a monk, who taught me a very simple meditation technique, and I would love to just guide you girls through it. So we're not going to do any shaking right now, because I would need to get up and shake my microphone. So what we're going to do is just a very short breathing exercise. And I think I see Ronya coming up right now. You can probably see her image. Beautiful women, thank you so much for being here today. So I'll just continue with what I had in mind to share with you. It's a very super simple technique, really. He taught the basics of meditation, but he did it in a way that just I found really, really awesome. And so what I will do is I'm going to just ask you girls to keep your eyes open for a little bit. And as you're sitting in front of your phone or in front of your laptop or whatever it is where you're at, to just put your hands down. So if you have your phone in your hand, just put it up somewhere. And get really comfortable wherever you're sitting. So either it's on the floor or on the chair, doesn't really matter, just get comfortable. And then just look around to where you are. What space are you in right now? What country are you in? What materials are around you? What's this specific room or building that you're in? Just be aware of the time that it is approximately in the place you're at. So it's 4:11 here right now, and I'm myself in Barcelona. So as you're there, just become really, really aware of the space you're in, and also aware that we are tuning in with each other through this international space, this space called internet, where we can connect with each other. And with that, I'm going to ask you to just take 3 deep breaths. So you can do this on your own rhythm, or you can follow me. So breath in and out fully. And then in. Hold it. And breathe out completely. And once more in. Hold it. And exhale. And as you're sitting there, just become aware. You can close your eyes now. Why you are showing up here today. And if you already answered the questions that we emailed you, you can just become aware of why it is that you're here in this program and what your intention is for being here and what you want to get out of this. And with that, being aware also how that can benefit you and your life and what it is that you're aiming to attract into your life for yourself, as well as the loved ones and other people on this planet around you. So setting this intention of a forward motion for yourself and for others around you as well. And as you do that, if you haven't closed your eyes already, you can do that now. Just start scanning your body. So first you can just become aware of your body in the place where you are right now. So feeling the weight of your body on your chair or on your floor. Your legs, whether they're folded or whether your feet are grounded on the floor. Try to feel the cloth of your clothes on your skin. And see if you can start scanning down. So start at the top of your head, feeling your entire skull, your face, your ears, your neck, your shoulders, both of your arms, your lower arms, and your hands. And feel your breasts, your belly. And see as you're doing this, if every time you touch upon a body part that you can just release it and relax it just a little bit more. And then feel the back of your body, so your shoulders on the back side, your lower back, your bum, your legs, lower legs, and your feet. And then just focus on your breath for a little bit. So just try to see how your breath is coming in and out. So you can best bring your awareness to the opening of your nostrils. And if you have difficulty breathing through your nose, you can just focus on your lower lip. And just feel the oxygen going in and out. And if you notice a bunch of thoughts coming up about whatever you're going to be eating tonight or other things you have to, just gently bring it back right here to your nose or to your mouth, whatever it is that you're focusing on. And every time you notice yourself drifting off, just bring yourself back to this present moment, to that sensation, that gentle sensation of the breath in your nostrils or on your upper lip. I'm going to just give you another 30 seconds or so to focus on that. Gently bringing yourself back to the breath every time. And then gently become aware of your body again. So just how the gravity pulls you down onto whatever it is that you're sitting on. Feel the back of your back touching the chair, your legs touching the chair or the floor, wherever you are. Feel your hands, your arms, your breasts, your belly. And then dedicate your practice to, and your being here, to the journey that you want to go on for yourself, and to the benefiting of yourself and your life, and how this is going to help you grow, and how that is going to impact others, your loved ones, your family. Take a couple of deep breaths in. You can let out a bit of a sigh on the way out. And a bit of a sound. And I'm going to do the Ronya Goddess Body Rinse. So bring your arms out to the side, up above your head, and let them come down like rain and touch upon your body. Touch your face, your arms, your shoulders, your breasts, your belly, and your legs. And then once more, big breath in, arms up above, along the side. Above your head, and gently letting them come down, touching your face, your ears, your breasts, your tummy, everything that it is that you find on the way down that you want to touch. And enjoy that as you're doing it. And then once more, big breath in. And as you're going down, trace the midline of your face, your nose, your lips, your throat, your heart center, and your belly. And you can just gently open your eyes. Maybe have a little stretch if you feel like it. So there we are, girls, ready to start today for our first session. And I'm just going to let you know, Ronya, in case you're here, I'm just going to start out with the introduction. If you can hear me properly, then just feel free to tune in at any moment. So girls, yay. So incredibly exciting. We are here today. So what we are going to do today in our first module of the Abundant Passionpreneur, the title was Discover and Step Into Living Your Mission. Big title, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going into a process for envisioning your dream business and your dream life in more detail. So if you've been doing the Live Your Passion Challenge, then you probably remember that we've done some of these things, but this is going to be way more in depth and into the details of what it is that you truly want. So we're kind of like creating a true North Star, which is going to be your direction for where you desire to be. And this is going to be a vision that actually is reachable and realistic. So it's kind of like you could be waving a realistic, although whatever that word is, something that you believe in, magic wand. And then we're going to be imagineering how you would love to spend your time, how you want to make your money. How are we going to, set this up for you? How you want to be of service to the world. And of course, how you want to feel while doing it. And this, what we're going to be doing is really going to create the foundation for you. And from that space, you're going to be able to create your offerings, your gifts, your products, your programs, get super clear on who you're serving and all of that. It's a great background. And this is really going to be the space we're going to be moving forward from. Now, very super duper important. because you may be like, oh my goodness, that is so exciting. And holy shit, how on earth am I going to do that and get clear on what it is that I truly want? So let me just clear one thing out before we start. This does not need to be perfect. If you were at one of our webinars, then you have seen that Ronja and I have said very frequently this quote from Marie Forleo, and it says, clarity comes from engagement, not thought. And it is so incredibly true. So your genius is going to be discovered by beginning the creative process. So, and for this session, we're going to actually ask you to flow write a little bit and like to write some things down and some downloads down for yourself as they're coming to you. And what I want to introduce to you is a way through which Ronja and I usually create. And this way of working has tremendously helped us do, well, basically every project that we have been working on together. And this is the idea of a first shitty draft. So, because, you know, creating a North Star and like your life mission, a vision can sound really huge, but you got to start somewhere, right? So what is a first shitty draft? It's really simple. I use this all the time to just get my downloads out of my head. It means that you give yourself total permission to just write down whatever the heck comes to you. And if you're aware of like editing or like people that work for magazines, this is how they work as well. It's really hard to immediately come up with something that's going to be totally perfect. So you just want to start by flowing. So for instance, a first shitty draft could be something that totally doesn't make any sense yet, just has a bunch of keywords. And then later on, you can start working from there and start deepening it. And this is really what's going to give you the freedom to create. So that is my introduction to the first shitty draft. Just checking in with you girls, by the way, if you can hear me properly, because I didn't see any chats from you coming in. So I'm assuming everything's all right, but I would love it if you could just give me a quick heads up if the sound works for you. So just let me know by saying, yes, I can hear you, or something in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. Good, awesome. We're still on, good. So, thank you, Annika, for your support. So girls, with that, we're starting off with this program, and I want to set you up for success, right? So what I'm going to say is I'm going to just point out some things, some mind contractions that might very well be popping up for you during either this session or as we're going to be doing this program. And one of these things that your mind might start saying, or maybe has already said, is, I know this already. I know this already. Like, why would I do this? And what that does is that is a contraction of the mind. So our mind is very, very good from like prohibiting us to grow sometimes. And it can be very judgmental and seeing like, I know this already. This is not for me. Like, So, but what you want to do in that is you want to open yourself up to possibility. So we're going to ask some opening questions that can take you from that contracted space into a space that's much more open and is actually going to allow you to grow. So if you see that question popping up, I know this already, you can turn it around and put it into a question like, what could I learn from this? What could I learn from this? Or how can I take this and use it in a way that would work for me? How can I take this and use it for me? Another thing that might pop up for you is, this won't work for me. This is cool, but this won't work for me. So that question, very simple. You can turn it around and ask yourself, okay, it might seem like this could not benefit me, but how can I make this work for me? What can I extract from this and actually move it forward? So that's another opening question. Then another thing that could come up for you is the idea of, it has to be perfect, or I can't do this because it's not perfect yet. You probably know that thought because I've been reading through your comments in the Abundant Passionpreneur Facebook group. And I want to just mention something about that briefly. We're going to go a bit deeper into that later on. But basically, pressure for Pressure for perfection is what kills all creativity. So I already gave you permission to go into a first shitty draft. But once again, done is better than perfect. And beginning is better than figuring it all out before you start, because you really can. So to go from the thought, like, I can't do this because it's not perfect, you can ask yourself the question, how can I start this? Where can I begin? And then really find one route for yourself that's easy, that you can move into, that feels kind of effortless. Maybe you need to put in a little bit of energy, and then you move from there. So really, I'll tell you more about this in a minute, about how Ronja and I look at this, and how we go about opening ourselves up to actually create fully without this idea of wanting to be perfect. So, girls, just checking in with you. Great. Everything is great with the sound. So I'm assuming you can still hear me. I'm just checking in with Ronja, whether you can hear me. I have this feeling she's still not in the room. So, which is totally fine, because then I'm just going to take it over from here, because she gave me all her notes. So I'm just going to move it forward. That's going to totally work out. So, girls, I'm going to, with that, ask you right now to grab your pen and paper. If you want to, you can totally do this on your iPad or on your phone. Like, that would work as well. However, I really recommend that you get a notebook. I have one of these. Just made my notes here yesterday because I'm doing this course in Barcelona right now, and I'm learning lots of great stuff. So just grab one for yourself, a pen. I don't have one here, but that's okay. I don't need to write anything for myself. And get ready. If you really want to do it on your laptop, that's cool. But I actually really recommend you do it on paper, because when you do that, it's not so much in your head, it's more inside your body, so it's easier for you to tune in. Could you write down the open questions for our notes? Definitely. So, girls, I'm going to give you a bunch of notes after this webinar from everything that I have prepared, and then you'll totally be able to look at that. So that's going to come together with a video, which you'll also be able to watch afterwards. So if you girls are all ready, just give me a little heads up. Are you ready? Just write, yes, I'm ready to go into this process. And then we are going to begin. And if there's anything you need to do now, grab a glass of water, just do it like now. And now we're going to start. Fuck yeah, absolutely, yay! Oh my gosh, you are my girls. Oh man, I'm so excited. Awesome. Ready? Yes. Set, go. Great. Cool. So, girls, one more reminder. First shitty draft. Okay? Doesn't need to be perfect, because I can already guarantee you right now that probably by the next session, you're going to change your mind about the things that you wrote down. And that's totally cool. This is just to get you an idea. You got to start somewhere. Otherwise, you won't get anywhere. So with that, let's begin. Okay. So I want you to imagine for yourself and to write down, what kind of business would you like to run? So with that, I'm saying right now, I'm just mostly interested in the size of it. Would it be a big company? Do you have a dream of employing like Oprah and having like hundreds of thousands of people employed? Would you like to have a middle-sized business where you have like 50 people employed? I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking big for you girls here. Or do you feel more attracted to having a smaller business? And if you're like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy question, just write down what downloads comes up for you right now. And you could also be working on your own, so that you have it set up in such a way that you don't need to work with anybody. Or maybe you would want to just have an assistant, or work with 4 awesome women that are really going to support you on your mission. Just write down something here. And I know this is our first question and you're probably writing some things down, but I'm already going to give this to you right now. Try to actually pick something, even if you're not clear. Because there's this trap we can go into of being like, oh yeah, I'll leave this decision for later on. Pick something. I know that might seem confronting, but just pick it, because you can change it in the next hour. Like literally, it doesn't matter. But in order to have this exercise, be able to move forward and get the most out of it, I highly recommend you do pick one thing. So with that, I'm just going to give you like a little bit of time to just write some things down. Anya says, I was disconnected. Could you say the first question again? Yes, it is. What kind of business would you like to run? And I'm mostly interested in size. So is it big? Are you like hiring thousands of women or men? Is it smaller business? Do you have like 50 women employed? Or is it, oh wait, that's middle, sorry. Or is it smaller, like maybe you work with maximum 5 people? Or would you do it entirely on your own, maybe with an assistant? So just whatever you've written down there, that's great. And you can totally go back to this later on and look at it again. Okay, so the next one. Do you see yourself leading groups in retreats, courses, or events? Just write down whatever comes up for you there. So do you see yourself leading groups in retreats, courses, or events? And maybe it's all of them. Whatever downloads come from you there with that question, just write them down. Maybe it's a clear no, I don't want to work with groups. Maybe you're like, yes, and you already know what kind of thing it is. You can just like start kind of writing that down. Then the next one is, do you feel, so if you've written that down, here's the next one. Do you feel the most lit up about working one-on-one with people in coaching sessions? Is that something that really excites you when you think about working with people one-on-one? How does that make you feel? Is that something that you want to do? Oh, great. Just noticing that Ronja is back on. Great. Can you repeat the question? Yes, I'm gonna repeat the question. So, do you feel lit up about working one-on-one with people in coaching sessions? Then, next question. So once again, we're doing first shitty draft kind of style, just like coming up with whatever it is that's opening up for you right now. Then, next question. Do you want to create online programs? Which are awesome, I think, because once you've created them, you can turn them into like semi-automated evergreen cash flow offerings, which I think is really, really cool. So would you want to do stuff online? Then another deepening question is, do you want to create, and if you guys are like, oh my gosh, Leonie, I need more time to write, just let me know. Next question is, do you want to create on your own or in collaboration with others? So do you already feel any clarity around that? Do you want to create on your own or in collaboration with others? And if so, you want to work with others, what kind of people would you love to co-create with? So yoga or meditation teachers? Are they healers, musicians, DJs, psychics, business pros, architects, raw foodies, photographers, filmmakers, whatever it is that you would want to work with? So you want to create on your own or in collaboration with others? A bit more time would be nice. Okay, good. I got that. I will give you a bit more time. So what I'm going to ask you to do right now is paint the picture of all the things that you've just written down for yourself in the present tense. So I travel the world. or even specifically which countries. I am hosting these kind of events. I am in a company of this size. I am offering this kind of stuff. So just taking the time for yourself right now, and I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes to just write the answer to the questions that I've given you before, but kind of like as if it's already happening right now. So, and as you're doing that, I'm going to ask these questions for you again, so you can just go over them. So you can just take another, because we're doing a first Shetty draft, right? So you can just take another page and start again and answer these questions again, but this time in the now. So I'm going to ask them again, and you can also do your own thing as I'm asking these. What kind of a business would you like to run? Or let me ask it differently. What kind of business are you running? So thinking of the size, how many people do you think you would be employing? How many people do you think you would be working with? Are you leading groups in retreats or courses or in events? Are you working one-on-one with people in deepening coaching sessions? Are you creating online programs? Are you creating on your own or in collaboration with others? And if you are working with others, who are you working with? So just checking in with you girls. If you need a bit more time, and once again, there's going to be homework too where you can deepen this. So don't worry, this is just our first Shitty draft. Annika says, I'm good. Angelique says, more time, please. A bit more time. So I'll give you guys another minute. And once again, we're really just looking at this here. We're just dipping our toes in. And we're going to totally ask you to deepen this after this session today. And if you feel like you were already done, because I think I'm actually going to give you a little bit longer, you can already start writing down whatever you download you have about, maybe you already have a clear idea about what kind of one-on-one coaching it is that you would be sharing, or what kind of program that you would be doing with them live. So I'm actually going to give you another, I think, 1 or 2 minutes, and that you can actually write that out for yourself, because I think it's powerful. And Chantal, we are definitely going to answer. We're definitely going to send all of this to you by email as well. But for now, yeah, just take a little bit more time to write everything out. Okay, so I'm going to slowly wrap it up. Give you another like 15 seconds. Okay, perfectly. So gently. And of course, as I'm writing, you can still write some things down, but I'm going to just invite you to do a short goddess rinse with me, just so that we remain connected to our bodies and don't go too much in our head about everything that we just wrote down. So I'm going to ask you to just take a bit of a stretch, and you can do a bit of a wild stretch. Just one that feels really good to you. So even if you're still writing, make sure you put down your pen for at least a couple of seconds to just stretch a little bit. You can roll your shoulders. And then we're going to do a goddess rinse, Ronja's goddess rinse. So bring your arms out to the side, stretch them up. Breathe in above your head. And if you're still writing, follow me now and do this with me. Above your head. Breathe in and breathe out. As you stroke along your face and your head and your breath. And your body, your hips, your legs. And once more, big breath in. And touching your face, your entire body. Yawn a little bit while you do it. Once more, big breath in. And tracing down the midline. And relax yourself. Get comfortable. If you want to drink some water, do that now. So, and then with that, I am going to pretty much move forward into another free flow writing exercise. And yes, this is a chunk of a masterclass today. We're doing the most intense stuff pretty much today because it's the most important stuff. So might feel a bit intense, but I'm going to ask you to just try to connect and try to write these things down. So just checking in with you girls, how you're feeling. Ronja writes, she loves me doing the goddess rinse because my breasts look so beautiful. Thank you. That's sweet. So actually, before we move on, I might just check in with you girls, how you feel after writing this down. And maybe you can just even text me in the chat how this was for you. And what you came up with. What did you write down? Let me know. I'm really curious. And you can also just give me a shorter chat. Suzanne says, I feel super excited. I just really want to start it now. I'm buzzing with energy and inspiration to get going. Great, Suzanne. That is amazing. Eve says, doing great. Diana says, I got more clarity on who I work with. Amazing. That's great, Diana. We're going to get so much more in detail on that, I think, in the 4th module, if I'm correct. Nicole says, it was a bit hasty, but what I definitely can tell is that I am in fact not so keen about online and more excited about offline work. Great. And the great thing is, Nicole, that online can really be a great way to promote because you can reach so many people, all of your offline work. So that's absolutely epic. And Lotus says, I wrote down all the things that are already for quite some time spinning in my head, belly, and heart. I feel so much inspiration for all of this. Daniela says, it went a little bit too fast for me to go into detail. I understand that, Daniela. I'll see how I can do that differently next time. And maybe in the way that I write down the questions for you, it will become easier as well. I feel more clarity, Susanna says. Great to have had all the preparations before writing out the questions. I think that's what you mean, Susanna. Great. Catherine Golden says, ideas are coming down, but then mine stopped me again for a while. So now I am a little bit confused. That's totally okay, Catherine. That's really awesome. Maybe what would also help you is to just look back at the questions that we had. Questions like trying to ask an opening question here. So what is it right now that feels most easy and makes most sense? And picking that. And it's actually very good that you're a bit confused. Tony Robbins says, if you're confused, that's great, because it means that you're opening up to something new. And it makes a lot of sense that you don't have exact clarity yet. Daniela says, I want all three things: leading retreat, working one-on-one, and creating online programs. Is that too much? No. No, that's not too much. I know Ronja does that. So that's great. It's totally possible. It's familiar what I wrote, but very clear to see it all like this, says Annika. I feel a lot of energy to get going. For me, it was not fast, but perfect. Awesome, Annika. Great. I feel ready, a bit overwhelmed sometimes by all the ideas. Totally get that. Okay, I'm calling out for an assistant now, and I will have a clear focus now for looking out for the people I would love to collaborate with. Awesome, Joyce. Well done. Okay. The questions written down beforehand would be super helpful for me. I hear you. Thank you for that feedback. Super nice to connect to my dreams and get more clarity. So many ideas, though, that I don't even know where to start. We'll get down to that in a minute, because I am going to ask you girls to pick something for now. You could change it in an hour or in a week, but to pick something for now. But I'll explain that a little bit later on. And some other great comments that are trickling in right now. Awesome, gorgeous women. So great. So I want to just address real quick something that I saw in one of the comments about feeling like, oh, shoot, a little bit overwhelmed, and like, this tendency to go a little bit in our head a little bit. I know that's not the case for all of you, but in case that you're experiencing that, something that always really helps me is this. Knowing that you can always make a difference, and that you remember that quote that we had up during the webinar? It was, if you know something amazing and you're not sharing it with the world, you're basically stealing. I deeply believe, and that's why I started this entire thing with Ronja, is that you all have amazing gifts that you need to share with the world. So for me, what can really help me get out of my head and start reconnecting to taking action is to realize that I am needed on this planet. And also that I don't need to figure everything out right now. So that we can just pick something on right now where we can start. Because there's this idea that we need to know exactly what we're up to. It's true that clarity is power, but once again, clarity can only come by taking action. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're like, oh, fuck, I don't really know what to pick, relax. Don't worry about it too much. I remember experiencing this myself a few years ago, and I talked to my friend about it, who's a great, great coach for entrepreneurs. And she said, Leonie, that is none of your business to figure it all out. You're trying to take over the job of the universe there. What you want to do is you just want to start somewhere. You can only do your best, and you can only start somewhere, and then it's God's job. So that realization always helps me to be like, oh yeah, I don't need to know it all. Although you might really, really, really want to. So with this right now, I'm going to give you a short example of how I started my business. When I started, I knew there was something I had to give, but I had no idea how or what I was going to do it. I did know that I was crazy about food, and that really helped me. So then I thought, maybe I can do some catering. And I thought, oh shit, I should have a huge catering business. And then I just started really small. I started catering for people for a very small price, for like 5 or 10 euros in the hub, the working space that I was at the time. And through doing that, I got more clients and I started doing more different things. And then I was a caterer. And I thought, oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do, right? That's it. And then through doing that, I discovered that catering actually wasn't for me. It took a lot of time. I didn't enjoy cooking as much anymore. And I started eating raw. So cooking became really boring all of a sudden. And then I said, okay, let's do things online as a food coach. And I started really looking into that. And I thought that was going to be it, until I realized it wasn't, because it felt for me, it didn't feel like the right thing. I felt I wanted to do more empowering things also for women. So, but still online. So then I started to work for Ronja. I worked for Ronja for a while. And then I learned so much about making money online. And now I'm my own coach, I coach women. I'm a female empowerment coach, which is amazing. And so try not to figure it out all in your head, because you're going to drive yourself insane. So that's why it's this idea of a first shitty draft. This first shitty draft, you can throw it away tomorrow. I make first shitty drafts all the time, and I end up throwing out a lot because I discovered that they're just not it. And that's just what needs to happen in the creative process in order for you to move forward. So with that, I am going to continue with some more questions, and I'm just going to check in on the time. Okay, great. So let me see where I'm going to start. Your big why. Yeah. So girls, grab your book and we're going to continue again. You got this. And I see some questions coming in, by the way, ladies, and I am going to answer all of those at the end of our session. So let me see. Okay. Good. Yes. Okay, beautiful women. So with this, I am going to try to put on some music, and I'm just wondering whether you girls can properly hear it. Songs. Tell me if you can hear it or if it's really cracked. You can hear it properly. That's great. Okay, wonderful. So girls, I'm going to take you with this music into the next... too loud. I'm going to put it down. Good. Is this better, Annika? Yeah, this is good. Still too loud, or is this better? Cannot hear your voice? You still cannot hear my voice? Better. Good. Okay, great. Awesome. So girls, we're going to go into the next part. So I'm going to ask you to take your little booklet again and your pen. So this is a whole different part. So change your page, and we're going to start at a whole new area right now. And what I'm going to ask you girls is what we're going to look at right now is your big why. What impact do you want to have on this world? Whose lives could you touch? What hurts you about the world right now? So that's a lot of questions. I'm going to ask them more slowly. So just grab your paper and answer the first question. What hurts you about the world right now? And that could be anything from what you see close around you with people happening, people are struggling, or something totally across the planet. Maybe this has to do with something that you're also sharing. So for me, for instance, I find it hurts me when women are disempowered. And it hurts me when couples are disempowered. It hurts me when people are fighting. So write down for yourself what hurts you about the world right now. They can't think with music. Okay, cool. I thought it would help you. but I'll switch it down then. Is it better to hear me right now? Good. That's great. So write down for yourself what hurts you about the world right now. Then as you're doing that, you can either finish that or continue with the next question, which is, why would your business exist? What is the purpose of your business? Then the next question, so the first one was, what hurts you about the world right now? Then why would you have your business? What would you do? Like, what is your purpose? Is that? Then the next one is, whose lives could you touch? So whose lives could you touch when you start sharing what you're sharing? And what could you change for them? How could you improve their lives? So whose lives could you touch, and how could you improve their lives? So I'm just going to repeat those questions, and you can add anything there if you feel. So what hurts you about the world right now was the first question. And the second one, why would you have your business? What's the purpose of your business in this planet? Then whose lives could you touch, and how could you help those people? I'm going to give you just a little bit more time to finish up on those questions, and then I have a few set of questions waiting for you. So just keep on writing that. Whose lives could you touch, and how could you improve these people's lives? And then I'm going to ask you to slowly wrap that up and just like make a little line on your page, and I'm going to move on to the next set of questions. So the next question is, why for yourself would you start this business? What are the benefits that you are going to get from starting your business? Mia, if you already have your business, then you can ask yourself the question, if you want to, because I know that you're here because you want to grow, right? You want to go to the next level. Why would you go to that next level? So that's the question you want to ask yourself if you already have a business. Hope that makes sense. Great. Yeah, so what are the benefits you'll get from starting or up-leveling your business? So that could be, I'm going to give you some examples now to spark your imagination, and feel free to totally steal these. For me, it's because I love the satisfaction of actually giving myself to the world fully. Said that quite quickly. But I realized for me that sharing myself with the world is really a form of compassion. Not because I feel bad for people, not because I feel sorry for them, but because I feel genuinely that I just want to have happiness for all of mankind. And I want all human beings to thrive. And I want to eradicate suffering on this planet. So I'm a deep believer of world peace and world love. And that's, I want to know that I'm fully giving myself and that I'm fully using myself as a vehicle to be expressed and to contribute to others. And one of the reasons for myself is because I love to travel. So I like to be location independent. So that's one of the reasons I would set up my business in the way that I do. Also because I get tremendous satisfaction from working with people and with women and from seeing them grow. So, and with that, a deepening question here. So why for yourself would you start your business? What are the benefits you're going to get from starting up or up-leveling your business? Is what impact is going to have that, what impact is that going to have on the direct people around you? So this is not just the people that you're going to touch through your business, but also your lover, your child, your cat, whoever is near you. How is this going to impact their lives? So Ronja writes, I love being in this expanded creative flow. I love the freedom to travel, eat organic. Yes, that is such an important one for me as well. Have massages, enjoy, and give back and support charities, organizations, etc. that are doing amazing work in the world. And freedom, ease, affluence. Totally agree on that. And actually, my journey started because Ronja once asked me these questions. I don't know if you know this, Ronja. This happened once in a video that you shared on the internet. So that's what started my journey. So just continue writing that down for yourself. What positive impact is your starting your business going to have on the people closest to you? Okay, so you can just take some more time as you're doing that, and then I'm going to just share with you, because I got some reactions from you like, oh, juicy questions. Yeah. And I think these questions are really the most important, right? Because this is what's going to keep you going. Because some people might think, oh, I'm starting my business for the money, right? And to be able to do what I love. Yes. Just about the money part, I'm not asking these questions because I'm not interested in the money part. I think money is incredibly important. I love money. I love money. I think it's an amazing tool that really helps us as humans to share and exchange, our gifts with each other. So we're totally going to focus also on money and like how to make it. However, just wanting to make money is not going to keep you going forever. So you need to ask yourself, what is your biggest mission? This is a question I'm going to ask again in a minute. So And knowing that your business isn't about you, it's about something so much bigger than you. And this realization for me was what took me out of my small thoughts of, oh, I don't know what to do, or, oh, am I good enough? And stepping into, okay, wow, this is actually amazing. And what I have to share is really important. Because I don't feel like getting up sometimes in the morning, and I don't believe in sacrificing myself. I don't believe in that either. But it does help me to remember, like, oh, wow, wait a second, I can actually make a difference. Like, I matter. And that's why we're answering these questions. So, and this is going to be your drive. This is why you're going to be doing what you're doing. This is what it's going to keep you going. And it is what it's going to make easy for you also to earn the money that you do want to earn for yourself. So with that, just finish up writing those questions for yourself. So what positive impact is this going to have on the people around you and yourself in your life? I'm going to just give you another 15 seconds. And by the way, girls, we're going to send you the replay of this video and we're going to cut out all of that nasty stuff. So it's going to be way more condensed and easy for you to watch back. The thought, it's not about me, makes me feel like I make it about me, like I am super important. Interesting. Okay, I'm not sure if I understand you correctly, Loda, but how I mean that, it's not about me, for me creates a lot of peace. For instance, sometimes when I get nervous, like when I do a webinar like this, especially when we did the previous webinars, there's a part of me, like my ego part, that's like, oh my goodness, I need to perform, and what are they going to think of me? And then I realize, oh, wait a second, it's not about how I perform. It's not about me, it's about the message. It's about how I can actually contribute, and that gives me a lot of peace. So that's how I mean that when I say it's not about me. So women, just going to see with you if you're done. If there's any insights you have right now, share them in the comment right now. So share all your insights that you're getting inside the comments and let me and Ronja know what it is that has come up for you. So Mia says, done. Awesome, Mia. I'm curious to what you wrote down. Your reasons to up-level your business. So for all of you, just give me a quick little note on your insights. You don't need to give me all of your download. We can go more into details into that in the Facebook group. Quick little note on what you have discovered for yourself and your motivation. Annika says, it's super important that I share myself fully with the world. It made me remind and feel more deeper connected that it really matters what I do and share. Beautiful, Ava. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I have to leave and give this children some quality time together. We'll take these answers soon as you have uploaded them and answered them. Not perfectly, but with a little more focus. Love to you all. Great, Leonie. So we'll see you later. Well, beautiful. I love that you're sharing that. Awesome new insights, hoping we get ideas about what to do when stuck or when our creative flow disappears. Yeah, okay, I hear you, Eve. Dan, that's definitely something we're going into. Mia says, realizing I'm up-leveling to reach more people and more leaders of big groups and people. Oh, amazing. That's a very smart idea, Mia. Awesome. Eve says, whose lives could you touch? All women in this world and eventually meant to as their partners, sons, friends, parents. I want to reach women. That is not a typical crowd. They feel empowered, full of life. Breasts, radiating with love and yoni moist, and they are in their dialogue with and connection with our bodies. Beautiful, Eve. That sounds epic. And something, that you can totally give to them. Wow, that is such important work. Insight, Dominique says, for me, it is about following my impulses and just doing this in trust that those are of the highest service is so exciting. Can you imagine? I can just enjoy fully living out my impulses while being of service to the world. Yes, beautiful, Dominique. The idea that my closest loves will be happy when I am shining more golden. Beautiful, Catherine. Concede to the bigger world and not being bogged down and fit in a mold. Okay, beautiful, Natalie. I just realized I'm going to start with creating a smaller yoga program that will help people now instead of postponing a bigger project that I've been putting off. Awesome, Isabel. That is really great. Start with something that feels kind of doable for now so that you can move and flow from there. Great. I get that feeling that I am important and that I am more than enough. not that thought that I'm not good enough. Oh, wonderful, Barbara. I love that. Loda says, if I look to what I will bring to the relationship close to me, I see that there would be more quality in all of them. That is so lovely, Loda. I absolutely love that. Nicole, and everything that comes up, the limiting belief comes up, it is important what I have to share, and I matter and can be so helpful. But how am I ever going to take money for that and live from it? Social type of work never pays well. Oh, well. I'm going to write that down as a note, actually, because I have a very powerful tool that usually helped me break that through. But that's something that we're not going to go super much into today. I'm reassured to see that my dreams, goals, and actual actions, activities are aligning and making a very credible picture. Awesome, Genevieve. Okay, I see that my clients are really enjoying what I do to them. Yes, Barbara, so important. Great. So, Nicole, I do want to quickly get back to that because I think it's important and it's going to help all of us move forward. How do I take money for that and live from it? So the social type of work never pays well kind of idea. Okay, great. So firstly, I get what you're saying. And probably that is because the people that you have seen doing this were not earning good money. So what you will need to do if you will want to start making good money with it, you need to get epic role models and follow more people that truly inspire you. So when I started with my business, well, let's say it differently. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's really great if we can combine our feminine flowing with masculine riverbanks, because that's when, the flowing can just happen so much more flowy without needing to worry that you're like going to crash and go everywhere. And it's going to get one big crazy party, which also sounds kind of fun, but messy, really messy. So, So what you want to do is you want to find role models for yourself that are doing what they love and making money with it. So, and they already have a profit model of how they are making money with it. So very simple. In my case and in Ronja's case, we are sharing information products. So an information product is something that is not a physical product. It's information that we are sharing with people, which is very valuable for them. And that's what we're getting charged for. And that is a proven profit model that really works. And amazing coaches all around the world are using that, and it's working greatly for them. So what you want to do is you really want to start getting like proof for your subconscious mind that it is possible by finding proof from people that are already doing that. And then you will be able to see, okay, wait, so it is possible. And that means that I can also do it. And then Eve says, when I look at role models, I get a feeling of, oh, whoa, they're so much further away than me and so much better. Of course, people would want to buy from them and not from me, blah, blah. Any thoughts? Exactly. That's just what they are. They're thoughts. So you have a mind, but you're not your mind. That is just really not true. And we're going to do an exercise for that right now. So stay tuned with me. Great. Okay, women. So now that you know what you can give or what you want to give or what you desire and why you're up for this and what your deeper purpose is, how do you make the money? Because you can't just do something like out on the street without anybody around you and make money, because it just won't happen, right? So what you want to find is something called your sweet spot. Kind of like as sweet as this juicy melon. That is a special melon from Spain. It's very delicious. So, but without joking, your sweet spot is the place where your joy and your passion, if we see them as one ball here, and your gifts connect to what people want, need, and desires. So not everything also needs to become your paycheck. Like not everything that you've come up with as an idea needs to be something that you pay for. And we're going to do a little exercise right now that's going to make it clear for you which skill or knowledge you already have that's going to make an impact on this planet. And if you've already written a lot of these things down, that's great. Just do it with me again, because it's just going to deepen the experience for you. So I think I'm going to throw this around a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to throw this around. So, and this is inspired by what you wrote, Eve. I'm going to ask you girls to grab another piece of paper. So new page right here. And write down for yourself, what am I good at? So just write that down for yourself, the question. So you don't need to write down the answer yet. If you are right now already feeling a lot of downloads and inspired, things that you want to write down, go ahead and write them down. Do that right now. So for instance, it can be, I'm good at listening. I'm good at, and these are things that you can give to people, right? So I'm good at listening. If you feel downloads, great, write them down. If you're like, oh my God, fuck, I don't really know, which is exactly how I reacted to when somebody asked me this question 3 years ago, then I'm going to give you some homework. And that is that you're going to ask 15 of your best friends. And if you don't have 15 best friends, just 15 people around you that kind of know you, what they think your 3 best qualities are. And having them answer this question is going to give you more clarity, firstly, on what you can give, and also more clarity on how awesome you actually are. So that, I think, is a very powerful question to ask for yourself, and to have other people answer. So something positive and something valuable that they associate with you. So what are you absolutely awesome at? When I did this exercise, it completely blew my mind because people gave me answers that I totally didn't know that I was good at, and that I totally didn't feel like I could give to somebody and I could charge people for. But when they wrote it to me, I was like, oh, damn, 15 people, and 10 of them said that I was really good at talking shamelessly about taboo topics, which is kind of funny that people brought that up, but that they just felt like I was really good at communicating stuff that they would otherwise feel uncomfortable with. So I was like, oh man, maybe I'm a good communicator. It brought me a huge, huge insight. So that is practical homework that you can do. Then the next question I want you to write down, and you don't need to go into answering it right now, but is, why am I worthy of earning money with this? So just write that question down for yourself. I have this written down for myself in, okay, let me just see for a second. I'm actually going to write this down for yourself, for you also. So why am I worthy of earning money with this? I have this written down for myself, and every time I start a new project or every time I feel like crap, I ask that, I read that piece of paper again, because my mind is pretty intense and can totally throw me out of the game sometimes. And I'm sure it happens the same for you girls. And that question of like, who am I? Like, why should I earn money with this? Like, am I worthy of this? When I notice that's coming back up, I just go back to that document and I'm like, oh, wait a second, because I'm actually really compassionate, because I'm actually a really good person, because I have a really good heart. And because the money that I'm earning is only going to go to good things. Like, I'm not going to buy crap with it. It's going to go to organic farmers. It's going to go to people who make fair trade clothes. It's going to go to, sharing things with my family. And then I remember, oh, wait, totally. Of course, I'm, valid of receiving that. So that is an exercise that really helps me. And, let me see here. So the question, why am I worthy of earning money with this? And I will put a reference back to one of the exercises from the challenge into this, where I guided this exercise as well. If you haven't done it yet, it's extremely powerful, and it will help you get out of your head from the mind that says, oh no, I'm not, and actually get those answers down for yourself so that you're clear in truth. Because in truth, obviously you're worthy of receiving this. Like, it's ridiculous to think that we can't. If you look at some of these babillion gazillionaires that are earning money doing shit and creating shit on the planet. So like, why wouldn't you be valid to earn money with that? Doing something epic that you love, that's like creating epic plus for humanity, whereas people who create junk in this world are. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So anyway, with that, that's my little rant about that. And also, if you feel like, oh shoot, who am I to start asking money? Well, there's only one way you become ready to earn good money. That is by charging it. And by just starting creating that now. Like, I started coaching and I think I asked like a really small amount per hour. Like, I don't know, I think I did like 24 euros per hour. And then I learned somewhere, somebody said, like, if you're a coach, don't ever ask less than 100 euros an hour. And I was like, fuck, that's crazy. How do I even become ready for that? And then she said, the only way you become ready for it is by charging it, because that's the only way you're going to level up. And you know, how valid and how valuable is it is if you are just truly present with someone for an hour. Like, that can give somebody a breakthrough. So you want to also just stop thinking in terms of, I'm spending only 1 hour. No, what impact is that going to have on these people's lives? And you know, I have amazing, these are not people I get coached by myself yet, maybe at some point in the future, but I know people who charge $8,000 per month for a coaching package, which might sound insane to you right now, but I know that some of these people are just really, really good at what they do. And when I'm at that level, I may very well get her coaching. This is a specific woman who offers that, because I know that what she gives is so powerful, and it would also help me, you know, expand more as a person and earn more money myself. So the only way to get ready to actually receive that money is to ask more money. Yeah. So Lotte writes, I want to be reachable for people. I totally hear you, Lotte. And you don't need to ask those prices, because those are really big, big prices, right? So you don't need to do that. And that's the great thing about the internet. If you sell an online program, you can sell more products and keep the price low, so that people can still come in and join, and you can still earn the money that you wish to earn. Another fallback, like another idea to look out for is always, So Ronja writes, I have mentors who charge $10,000 per hour or $100,000 a day for private coaching, and their clients are happy to pay that. I would be careful not to fall in the trap of want to help everybody, because money is also a form of commitment, and you don't want to work with somebody who's not committed to work with you, because they are not truly grateful for the value that you are giving them. Everybody, if they really want to, can generate a certain amount of money to work with you. So, and once again, you don't need to ask those crazy amounts of numbers, but we're just saying it here to expand your horizon, so that, yeah, of course you can start asking like $250 per hour. Like, of course you can start doing that. And the only way you get ready for it is by doing it. So Annika says, I love the idea of receiving a lot of money. I want to coach coaches, trainers, companies, schools, and governments, and those will reach a lot of people again, and those, and so on. Exactly. It's going to have a massive impact. And you know, also, some people just don't want to work with people who charge less, because they don't take it seriously. And, you know, it's also a great energetic exchange. And by the way, you're going to use that money again to, you know, expand your reach even more. You're going to use it for great things. By the way, girls, I think I am going to create a bonus upgrade for free for you girls about money and how to break your money blocks. Are you guys interested in that? Because I'm thinking of creating that. Just let me know if you're interested in that by writing yes in the chat. Here is an insight from Ronja in the meantime. One key insight for me: by charging more for coaching, my clients show up way more focused, I can put more energy in, and they get better results, usually including making more money. And that is more than what they pay for the sessions. That is so true. Yeah, that is so true. When you charge good money, people show up. What is this again? There's this saying, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's something like you get you learn, or what is it again? Something like you learn what you pay for, because when you pay for something, then you're like, oh, it is value, and then you take it seriously. So often when you give things for free, you're not actually doing people a service. You know, it's not nice for them because they come in without true motivation. So that's why I don't usually work for people for free. Like I almost never do that unless there's like another great exchange that happens, because from experience, I've learned that very often people then take it for granted and there's no real motivation to step up, which drains me and it drains them. So great. Okay. So I'm definitely going to do this, this free money bonus for you girls, because I think it's so important. Just writing that down. Awesome. So we're at 1.5 hours now. So I am going to just continue with this session. And I'm aware that it's becoming quite long. If you feel like you are able to stay, because it's going to be epic and you'll be able to get the live energy of this and live ask your questions. If you're like right now, oh, sorry, I didn't have this time set aside, then you'll be able to watch this video back. We're going to edit it for you so that it won't be so messy and choppy. And it will be much shorter for you. I will also write out the questions so that it's easy for you to get back to it. So with that, I am going to go into this. So grab another sheet of paper of your little booklet and let's do this. And grab some water if you need to. I know that I do. So I'm going to grab some water. And in the meanwhile, you can just get set up. That question, by the way, Joyce, how do I look at donation-based working? I will answer that for you in the monies bonus session. I'm writing that down as well. So grab some water for yourself, take a pee, take a stretch right now, and get ready for answering these questions. Joyce, I'm aiming for this webinar to last approximately 30 more minutes. So I know that's a bit long, although I do think we said originally that we would go between 90 to 120 minutes per webinar. So I'm aiming for it to last another half an hour, just so you know. Oh, wonderful, that's great. Deanna, I see your message here. Okay, girls, so with that, I am going to ask you to write down the following. Once again, first shitty draft, so just try to download and not think about it too much. So the question is, with all these things that you just write down, how do you want to feel while creating all of this? So write out that question for yourself. How do you want to feel while doing all of this? So, and you can come up with words for you that really inspire you. So for me, it's playful. For me, it's joyful and aligned. I like feeling focused. I like that word personally. Maybe you have a different association. I like the word vibrant, free, and happy. So just write down some words for you that come up. How do you want to feel while creating all of this? And then, what kind of support do you need that would make all of this easier for you? So is that creating a beautiful office space? Is that having a cup of tea and a lit candle next to your computer? Is it having a dance break every 5 minutes? Is it maybe working in a cozy cafe? So what I'm going to ask you to do, so the question is, what kind of support do you need that would make all of this easier for you? So here we go. And I know for me that it's working out. That is a basic thing that when I do that every day, I feel so much happier, so much more joyful, and much more in the mood to actually create things. Whatever idea comes up for yourself there. Eve says, getting more massages. I still have a block on spending money on that. Yeah, that's great, Eve. There's another thing that I'll just quickly share on that, and that is, I'm actually not going to go into that. I might answer that at the end, Eve, where I'll give some space open for you girls to ask me a bunch of questions. So I think for now, I'm just going to focus on the content. And then after the session, so you can just keep on giving me your questions or remember them and ask them at the end. And I'm going to answer all of your questions then. So then, okay, so here is the biggest part of our homework. So one part of it was to, ask your friends 3 things they think are amazing about you or things that they love about you. And now comes the main part. So I know that some of you wrote down amazing answers and like really great things on, okay, what it is that you now want to move forward in. You're pretty clear on what it is that you want to be doing approximately, at least something that you've chosen for now. If you're still feeling like, oh my goodly goodness, I don't know what to do. I'm so passionate about so many things. I don't know what to pick. What should I be working on right now? Here's the homework I'm going to be giving you. And by the way, this is interesting for everybody to listen to, even if you already feel like you have clarity. So the homework is going to be this. I'm going to ask you to write everything down, all of your ideas on sheets of paper. And you can just I like to do it. You can either do it on one piece of paper or you can take Post-its or something, pieces of paper, and then you just spread them all out in front of you. Just so that you have that all down somewhere. And even if you feel like you're already clear, but you don't know what to focus on now, you can use this technique as well. So just like a brain dump, getting everything out of your head. And I already shared with you girls before that it would be so incredibly powerful to pick one thing. I know it might seem really frustrating. Oh my God, why just one thing? I want to do it all. To focus on during this program. But I can't stress this enough. Even if you feel that there are so many things you want to be focusing on, I'm going to just request from you to try to pick one thing. And here I'm going to tell you some stories right now on this. And the one thing that you're going to pick, by the way, is something you're going to be focusing on fully right now during our next 12 modules. And it's something that you can change next week. So when I say you need to pick something now, it doesn't mean you can't change it, but you do need to pick something now in order to move forward, at least get some kind of clarity on it. So I'm going to tell you a little story now that has hugely, massively helped me actually go for something. Because for years, I was stuck in decision limbo. Which passion shall I take on? Fuck, I'm so passionate about so many things. What shall I do? What shall I go for? What's my thing, my thing. And then in the end, I ended up actually not really doing anything. And I came upon this quote that describes it so well for me. And I'm going to share it with you today because I hope it will inspire you as well. This quote goes like this: don't be a donkey. So you might be like, what? Don't be a donkey? What do you mean? This is a little story of a donkey. So there's this donkey and he is standing on a piece of land. And there's like a little ridge going down to one side and a little ridge down to the other side. And he's standing there. And he's not on a leash, he's free. There's like some kind of fence around it. And on the left side of him, there's this bucket of water. And he's pretty thirsty, so he feels like drinking. But on the other side of him, there's this fresh, juicy hay that he really wants as well, because he's not just thirsty, he's also hungry. But there's this donkey, and he's standing there in the middle, and he's like moving towards the water, because he's like, I want to drink some water. And as he's almost there, he's just 1 meter away from it, he looks over and he realizes, oh shit, there's fresh hay right there. And he moves over to the hay. Or whatever sound donkeys make. And then as he's there, and he's almost there, and he's 1 meter away from it, he's like, fuck, but there's the water. Shouldn't let go of the water. And then he starts moving back towards the water, sorry. And so on. And back and forth this monkey goes all the time because he just doesn't want to miss out on either one of them. And what happens to this super cute little monkey? He dies. He dies in the middle of the field. Because he was so afraid to miss out on one thing that he didn't just go for one thing. And the funny thing is, if he would have just went and drank the water, afterwards he totally could have gone towards the hay or the other way around. But he was stuck in the middle because he didn't really go for it. So it is so important to pick something that you're going to be focusing on. And even if you already have a business or if you're already kind of clear on what it is that you're up to, try to pick one main thing that you're going to be focusing on during this next period. I'm giving you the freedom. It's a first shitty draft. Okay. So if you're feeling next week like you've changed that, that's totally cool. You can change it every damn week. But just for now, as the homework for this week, get clear on something. And use the questions that I've asked you during this webinar, and I'm going to write them all out for you to go through that process and actually get clear for yourself. So, yeah, so that's basically most of it from now. And then what comes from there as our homework from there, if you are already feeling quite clear, that's great too. Look at everything that you've written out so far today, and then write down 1 to 3 action steps that you can take, maybe even already today or in this coming week, that will get things moving. And you want to take actions that seem small, because then you will actually do them. So don't pick something that's like too huge and too big. Pick a small and actionable thing, or to maximum 3 things. I'm saying maximum 3 because I know otherwise you might write down a bunch of things that's not actually going to help you move forward because you'll get stuck. So 1 to 3 things that you can today or in this coming week that's going to get things moving. Things that are inspired, easy, and impactful. So with that, girls, I have shared everything that I wanted to share with you today. We have gone through a lot of things together, and I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what we talked about. We've gone through the opening questions. So becoming aware of what questions could be limiting you, such as I know this already, and turning them into what can I learn from this? Then we've gone through our deepening questions. So what kind of business would you like to run, etc., and all of the practicalities on how your business would look. Then we've looked at the impact that that would have on this planet and what the purpose really is for what you're up to. We've looked at how this will impact your life. Then we've talked about the sweet spot. So finding this connection between what you can give and what people want. And out of that came the homework of writing out your best qualities. So getting clear on that and creating the list also of why you're awesome. Then from that, we asked ourselves the question how you want to feel while doing it and what kind of support you would need that would make all of it easier for you. And then we have given you a process on how you can actually write everything down and pick one thing that feels the most doable, the most easy, the most attainable for now to go for that. And the 1 to 3 action steps that flow from there. So with that, girls, I just want to open up the space right now for all of your questions. I will be here for approximately another 15 minutes to answer any questions that you might have. And yeah, so any questions that you have right now, feel free to ask them. And if you have any other insights right now about how the webinar has been for you, this masterclass, or in general, your insights, pour them right here in the chat. And yeah, so, and then we're gonna go and open the Q&A session right now. And at the end, actually, you know what? Before we do that, I'm gonna drink a glass of water. And I'm going to ask you girls to just do a little bit of a stretch, just so that we stay connected to our body. So those of you who are already logging off, I will see you inside the Facebook group where you can also ask all your questions. And everybody who's still here, you can just tune in with me right now for a little goddess rinse connection ritual. So just going to be really short, just 1 or 2 minutes. Just connect to your body. So you can just reach up above your head. Take a deep breath in and then move all the way to the left side, or maybe it looks like the right side for you, but just stretch this side of your body. Breathe into it. And back to the middle. Stretching all the way up. And to the other side. Breathing into your side body, opening up into it. And back up into the middle. And then gently, like water pouring down, very sensually, letting your hands run over your body, your breasts, your hips, your thighs. While doing it, just taking deep breaths in and out. And once more, put your hands above your head. And down. While exhaling. And you can dance a little bit. Rocking your beautiful, beautiful female body. Thanking her for being so present in this past session. And once more, hands above your head. Deep breath in and exhale, and going through the middle of your body, over your forehead, your nose, your lips, your throat, your heart center, your belly. And then putting your hands on your heart and on your belly. Just taking a few more breaths and just feeling your body. And just remembering that intention that you set for yourself originally for being here, being in this program. The impact that that's going to have on your life and on that of others. Deep breath in. Hold it. And breathe out with a sigh. Open your eyes and There we are, girls. Amazing. We made it. So right now, if you want to just share inside the chat any insights that you've had for this masterclass, your main insights, and other questions also that you may have, feel free to write them here. And then I will take another 10-ish minutes to answer them now, or we'll follow up on it in the next session. So I'll be here to answer your questions. Femke writes, thank you so much for today. You rocked it, Leonie, and I hope you will be able to join next time, Ronja. Yes, I'm certain that we can arrange that. Eve says, totally love this, Leonie. Also, it feels great to get to know you a little better and feel your passion. My question still stands about feeling shame and guilt for spending money for things like massages, even though I know it's going to make me feel better and more inspired. I feel good spending this on things that are going to improve myself, like yoga or coaching, is fine, but massages are purely for pleasure, and I feel shame spending on that. I feel really inspired to create a bonus session, a free upgrade session for you girls about money, because I know how this can really contract you. And I used to experience that myself, and I still do sometimes, but I found a way to deal with that. So one thing I would just say for now is there are some very practical ways to, this is what I use, I don't know if Ronja also does this, but this really helps me, is I every month or whenever I get my money, and I put it into baskets. And one of those baskets, which is approximately 10% of what I earn, is play. And that money needs to be spent on stuff to indulge myself every month. So it gives me a balance of knowing that I am taking care of things that need to be taken care of with money. And at the same time, I can, play. And that money has to be spent. And I used to go for dinner with friends, or I actually went to Venice last week with some great friends. We rented a really fancy apartment, and we went to like the sauna, and we went to a really fancy Italian restaurant. And I can do that because I set that money aside for myself, and I know that I'm taking care of the rest of my money, because I really don't like money stress. And at the same time, I don't like to be too uptight about it. So this system really helps me. And I will totally share that in more details in my bonus upgrade that I'm going to share with you. So Nicole says, for figuring out the sweet spot, how do I figure out what people really need? Oh, great question. After I believe they could need, but how do I reality check it? Inspiration for that. Yes. Thank you so much for mentioning that. That's funny that I didn't actually mention that. Thank you, Nicole. Another homework thing, and I'm going to add this to the email that we're going to write to you girls. Talk to people that you want to serve. And this is something that we're going to get more into during module number 3 and module number 4. But start talking to people that you want to serve. So this could be women that you feel like you really would want to work with. And if you have some clients, then you just talk to them. So just literally ask them what they need. And in the upcoming modules, we're going to give you some more guiding questions for that. So that's really great, Nicole. Thank you so much. Let me just make some notes of that right here. Yeah, it's very important. So Anya says, thank you, Leonie. It was very inspiring. Great, Anya. I love to hear that. Joyce says, to indulge myself. I'm not sure. I treat myself with gifts because I am worth it. Yes, I think you mean what would really help you, or the action steps you're going to take. Joyce, that sounds delicious. Diana says, super encouraging to realize how easy it is to re-enthuse. Just brilliant deep questions, alignment and breath, plus the supportive group like this. Thanks to everyone. Big love to you all. Thank you, Diane. So grateful that I could share this with you. I know how amazing it is to feel empowered in that. And yes, it can be really simple. We can just simply refocus and direct the mind. So grateful to share. Great, Leonie, says Barbara. I got this insight that whatever I do, if I do it from my heart, it is perfect. On the other side, I see, oh my, something just came down from the ceiling. It's nothing serious, but it surprised me a bit. So on the other side, I see that I am not so fast. I need time to digest and let it all sink in, love. Please take that time, Barbara. And girls, if you're done after this webinar, please go outside, get out of your head, go for a walk, go for a swim. I'm going to do that tonight because I'm right next to Barcelona Beach. Do something out in nature. Integrate, right? Barbara, this is all going to get clear for you. I remember when I started, I was so overwhelmed and I was like, oh my freaking goodness, holy goddess, how on earth am I going to do this? Trust me, it will come clear with time. This is just a huge opening and up-leveling for you in terms of what's possible. So I completely understand. Take your time. There's no hurry. There's no worry. There's no stress. Try not to compare yourself with anybody else also in this program because we're all at our own perfect level. Beautiful, Barbara. Thank you so much for sharing. Natalie says, not sure how my business could impact a lot of people right now, what lives it could touch. Something about togetherness. That is already amazing, Natalie. That is already amazing. So I think that with the recap that we're going to send you about today's session, as well as the upcoming sessions, you're going to get more clarity about that. So, and also the exercises of asking people what they think you're good at will help you. And also the exercise of talking to people and seeing what they need. Because that's the only way you're going to find out. You're not going to find out these answers in your head. You're literally going to have to talk to people, find out what they need, and discover for yourself by talking to people what you're good at. So it's great. You're going to find your clarity with that, I'm certain. Joyce says, very inspirational how you tune into your passion and what you like to share as a bonus. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you. Yeah, and you know what? For me, that's the only way I can keep going. Because if I would focus on like just the money I would want to make, I feel so stuck. Like that just kills me. Like so it comes from this natural sharing of wanting to share this with you girls, and also knowing, because I've checked out, well, almost every one of you, because I've seen you in the Live Your Passion Challenge and on Facebook. Like, you're all up to freaking amazing things. Some of you already a bit further ahead, and some of you, still discovering. But I know that all of you women who are here, you're healers in one or another way. Like I think sometimes attorneys can be healers because they work for power projects. But yeah, so I think that. Thank you for that feedback, and I wish to give that to you girls as well. So Lotus says, my answer about which support I need is the support of the people close to me. Seems like a wrong answer. My head again, because I need external things. Oh, beautiful, Lotta, that you mentioned this. I think especially in the conscious spiritual community, we have this misconception that we need to be able to do everything on our own, which is so screwed up. Because there's nothing wrong with creating safety for ourselves, and like with feeling, with creating a powerful space. So for me, for instance, I know this feeling of like having to do everything on my own. But wow, we're also human, right? And just listening to that and allowing ourselves to be in that. And like for me, for instance, I have some very important friends to me. And I really love them. And I'm in Barcelona now, and there's so much new stuff happening. And I notice I feel the need to just tune in with them and relax. And a part of me feels like, oh, I shouldn't need that. But allowing yourself to feel that and to fill your cup and to meet that, I think that's absolutely beautiful. So I think it's great that you're recognizing that, Lotta. And I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. In fact, I think it's incredibly healthy for you to desire that. So thank you for sharing. Natalie says, okay, thanks. I think I missed that part. You're cut out. Maybe I can see the replay. Yeah, sometimes when the Wi-Fi on your end is not optimal, then it could be that it checks me out, because we have quite high quality camera most of the time, at least mine. So then it cannot, sometimes it doesn't come through fully. So we'll definitely send you the replay. Leonie, something in you has changed since the last webinar. You seem even more grounded and feminine to me. I love it. Wanted to let you know. You held great space, super sovereign and very loving. Big thanks. Thank you. Taking that compliment right in. Very sweet, Nicole. Thank you so much. Okay. Some girls are saying, thank you. I'm going to go now. Yes, I think it's a funny. I want to bring the connection, but then I think that I need to do things on my own. Lotta, sometimes it can be the mind also that's fooling us, because it can be the mind that's like, oh, we're not worthy, subconsciously, right? And then it's like, oh no, maybe we just don't need that. My mind, is also funny like that. My mind, because I can be insecure sometimes, and then in that insecurity, my mind starts saying that other people are stupid. I'm sure all of you have experienced this, but I catch myself sometimes, like my mind saying like, oh, I don't know, I think this person's kind of stupid. And then I realize I actually really like them, but I'm afraid to hang out with them because I'm afraid they will reject me. So realizing these thoughts and knowing that they're not true, and that you have a mind, but you are not a mind, and you're free to make choices that empower you and to connect with your family and to have delicious dinners with them and feel empowered by that. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think there's tremendous power in that, and that can give you the roots from which you can grow. So I think it's absolutely wonderful. Okay, girls, wonderful. So just checking in with you if there are any other questions you have that you would like me to answer right now. This is the last chance. I'll give another few more minutes if there are any questions popping in. And otherwise, go outside. I know we're doing this program online, but please hit the road. Get out of here. Get to the beach, go into the forest. If you're in a city, go into a park and replenish your body, eat healthy, drink well, take care of yourself, dance, cuddle with your cat. Don't break your head about this. And if you have any questions or any comments or any insights, share them in the Facebook group and we will see you there. So, beauties. Checking in. I think I don't see any more questions coming out. When will the next webinar be? And will it take 2 hours? Yeah, you're right, actually, Joyce. We haven't scheduled that yet, but I think it will be next week at the same time. I think we are aiming to have it mostly around the same time. But I will talk to Ronja today, actually, and we're going to send you a schedule. But for next week, I'm pretty sure it is at 4 p.m. Amsterdam time again, same day. So Tuesday, 4 p.m. next week. Yes. Wonderful. Okay, girls, if you have any other questions and I won't be able to see them right now, write us in the Facebook group and then I'm going to be able to answer all of it for you there. Is there any other content we'll get right now? Yes, you will get an overview and like a little recap of everything that we spoke about and all the questions that you can answer. So yes. Apart from webinars, well, our masterclasses, well, basically these are what we present our main modules in. Yes, Eve. And then on the side of that, you're going to get like recaps of what we've done. Lotus says, is there an overview of all the modules somewhere? Yes, it should be up in Kajabi right now. You should be able to see it. I will double check that today because that should have gone up there already. Otherwise, it will be up there today for sure. So, okay, beautiful women, I love you all very, very much. And go out, have fun. No matter how inspired you are, get into your body now. Much love, mucho love, because I'm in Barcelona. See you. Mwah.